Hey guys, welcome back. I'm still in Korea. Basically, episode 2, or episode 1. I don't know. Whatever happens. Anyway, so I'm gonna talk about my first 30 days as an aggressive skater, and this phone is just gonna fall on my hands. Seriously. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about my first 30 days as an aggressive skater, and what I've learned from it and how it was. So when I first got my aggressive skates, I was in Plano, Texas from the Carry skate shop. It was pretty cool. I've had years of rollerblading experience before that. I go to roller rinks and just mess around. Maybe every other month I'll go to the rink. But even then I still knew how to rollerblade a bit, and I basically knew how to get around. It's just I was not familiar to outside. So about 2 years ago, or no, 1.5 years ago, I decided because I like rollerblading and I do it at the rink, and I can't go to the rink all the time. Why don't I just do it outside of my house? There's a street and everything, and I can ride. So then I decided to go get on my old Coromas. That's what I had back then, and they're just basically knockoff versions, but they're good for starting out, I guess. They're good for roller rinks. Anyway, they were 80mm wheels with like 78A probably, or 75A. So the moment I was doing like T-stops and trying to do twirls or like spins or 180s and stuff, I shredded the wheels to the max. That I was like, whoa, I cannot ride on it, because I'm riding on plastic now, not rubber. And just saying, this is the building up to the 30 days. Anyway, so after that, I was like, I gotta get some Zetra blades. But first I went to Korea, because I do that pretty much every summer to visit family and stuff. And I went, so I went, came back, and I was like, I want to ride outside again, but my rollerblades are trash. So what I'm gonna do is just cars and motorcycles passing behind me. Anyway, what I'm gonna do is get some Zetra blades. So I asked my dad, and he was actually pretty open to it. There was a deal, paid him $100. Boom, got them. And I was rollerblading outside like it was nothing. Like, I was shocked how smooth they were. And this is why you go name brand first, because I didn't do that. Which, it was actually a Christmas present, which I'm very grateful for. It got me into it. But the Zetra blades were a lot better to start with, and while riding them, I was like going uphill super fast. The bearings were smooth, everything good starting out. I took off my brake in the back on my right foot, because I watched a video saying like it was not that good. And for skate parks, I get how they can say it's not that good, because you're going up and down bowls and you don't want that brake in the back just like flipping you backwards or something. So I took it off, saying like, I don't need it, and I started doing T-brakes and everything, and it kind of ruined my wheels a lot. And I was like, okay, now I need to buy a new set of wheels. So I did that. I might have rotated them, and then when I rotated them, it was like, man, that was not good. But so I changed them out, got some green wheels, and I still have those green wheels to this day. I do want to buy new ones, bit more professional, because those kind of shredded easily. The ones that they started off with were really good, but it was just like 82A, and 80A is more like the what do you call it? Basically the middle line. There's the outdoor wheels and indoor wheels, and 80A is good for both, but 80A still shreds a bit too much if it's too hard. I have 90As on my Aeon 60s, and I have 85As on my Zetra blades. And 85A was a lot better of a choice, but also did shred, and I did rotate the wheels a couple times. I put in new bearings, because I go, even when it was raining out, I had like a couple sessions with that. So then I did, and then I think we went to a skate shop, because my dad was like, let's go check it out. Since you're going to skate parks on your Zetra blades, he was like, why don't you check it out and let's go to a skate shop. So I went there, and my dad was like, hey, yo, you wanna, we're looking into them, we're testing them out. And I thought it was just for like strolling around, looking around, like, how, shopping, just looking around, looking at a pair of shirt and saying, wow, that's cool, and then moving on to the next store, and then maybe buying something for that store, buying not. But what was surprising to me was my dad was nice enough to get me Aeon 60s, or he let me try them out. We're about to go for some like razor style, but I'm glad we didn't, because that was a bit more stiff. It was the color white, so if I got dirty or anything happened, it would just turn black and muddy and stuff. So I'm glad we got the Aeon 60s, which are black. It does fit the killer pads, and yeah, I want to break this armor in and not be such a rookie anymore. You know, I'm still a rookie at aggressive skating. I do know how to move around on the street and all that other stuff, but I do fall still. I only started like outdoor skating for a year and a half. I known rollerblading for like 5 years though. But I've become more committed to it every day. Been doing it. It's actually my ultimate hobby. I used to not do it anymore. Man, I do need a haircut. I'm probably gonna do it this week or next week. And you might see that, you might not. I don't know. Or you guys might see that. Anyway, also, I'm probably, yeah, so, let's see. I gotta get back on track. Anyway, we started skating at Louisville Skatepark. That was the first skate park we went to. Me and my dad, and I think my mom took me there. My mom took me there a couple times as well. My little brother always tagged along, and so I never really I started recording myself just for fun. You know, just like, wow, this is a cool memory. I'm doing this little turn. I'm going down these steps, stair bashing. And now I jump over steps, which I don't think you have seen that yet. Or you will probably by this video's out. And so I started jumping over steps, and I've been doing that more and more aggressive style. I want to get better into it. By the time I'm 18, I'll be doing crazy stuff, hopefully. I'm only 14, and this is like first couple months I've been committed. And or first couple months. It's only been 2 months, 1 month. Anyway, I got these. So the moment I got these skates in Curious Skate Shop, we're in Plano, right? So there's Plano Skate Park. Perfect. We went over there with those skates, and I started doing things I never did before. Like I was jumping over a little like patch of area, which I was shocked. I'm like, I can even do this. Like I can jump over like 1.5 feet or 1.5 foot of like air, you know, or like space. And I was shocked because I'm like, I don't ever do that, you know. And when I did that, I was like, wow, this is like the beginning of becoming a true aggressive skater. And I did that, and then I started going in the bowls a bit. I was actually scared to drop in back then, because I was never into dropping in. I never did that. I was street skating. I was going on sidewalks. I was going on roads. I was going near cars. I mean, that should be a lot more scarier than doing it. But you know, I did that first, so it's not as it was like I overcame it first. And man, I'm gonna take this off. Anyway, you know, I'm gonna put this on. Never mind. Anyway, so yeah, basically, I went to Plano, and I discovered, wow, I could drop in. I could come from big heights, and it won't be that scary. Then I went back to Louisville, because Plano, that's a bit far from home. Louisville is like right next door. Or like not right next door, but that's closer to where I was than Plano. So I was like, we'll go to Louisville instead. And their bowls are like massive. You got 8 feet. I think you also have like a 10 feet over there. You got 4 feet, and it's really fun. I'm finally learning how to get some air and dropping in. I did a 90-degree turn, and I dropped in instead of like locking my H block onto the coping and then dropping in. And I also tried like kind of riding into it and dropping in instead of just like standing there, lock in, and then drop. Instead, I'm going like into it, you know. So a bit more, what do you call it? Like a bit more, I don't know what to say, spontaneous maybe. Yeah, and yeah, a bit more spontaneous in dropping in rather than waiting and like just. I kind of before I came to Korea, I was a lot more like, I was finally getting good at dropping in and like, you know, at bowl stuff. Because in my opinion, the bowl is the most fun. because I don't ever do it as much when I was in street skating. And also dropping in, flying into the air, that's a lot more. That was very fun. I was doing wall riding, I was doing fakies on walls and doing things, and I discovered you can do things on curbs as well by jumping onto curbs, locking with your H block, and then doing like a 180 turn and drop. I want to get good at grinding. I have to learn the soul grind, and people are saying to do that first, or like that's what I've been told. So I might do that. I know I have to do it probably, and yeah, I'm tried the Royale, not good at that as much, and yeah, I went to many skate parks. I went to Grand Prairie, and Grand Prairie was kind of cool. But the only downside for me with Grand Prairie was it was just too smooth. So my 98 wheels just slid off and I fell. And which was not that fun because I'm like, wow, I just bashed my hip on the floor. That was great. But still, it was like, what was good about it though was there was a huge spine and I could do a crazy spine transfer. It was like 6 feet or no, 5. Was it taller than me? I'm like 5'9", So it was like, with rollerblades on, I could be like 6. So I guess you could say, yeah, it was taller than me. It was like 6 feet, around that almost. And it was so high up. I was doing spine transfer. The first time I failed, I kind of stalled and then I went back down backwards, which I wish I came on the other side, but I didn't. I was just a bit too scared. It's so high up and you're on that little tiny beam. Yeah. When the second time though, I did it perfectly and it was awesome. I was like totally, I mean, you could watch that video later and it's a pretty good video for that. That was my favorite part in the video, actually doing that spine transfer, because that was the most successful thing I did there rather than fall down by accident just trying to turn. Over there is a lot more of a skateboarder vibe. There's a lot of homemade stuff, it seems like DIY skate park style. It was really cool. It was pretty cool. The atmosphere was nice too. Like they didn't mind rollerbladers, or there was even like a roller skater. Like that was like a lady with the roller skates on, which was actually pretty nice. There's like every little thing. There's scooter kids. Yeah, I mean it was not bad with a vibe over there. It was just the problem was the whole bowl for me. It was just too smooth. That's how I slipped and fell because 98 wheels are not made for smooth surfaces, it's made for harder, which Louisville does awesome for that, because Louisville is a bit more, I'm not gonna say run down, but it's a broken in skate park, it's been there, which I do like. And of course Grand Prairie's been there as well, but there's like a shed or like a roof thing protecting it from any weathering or rain. So that's probably why it was so smooth compared to when I went to the outside part. In the outside part, I didn't slip because it was a bit more like weathered in and broken in by the weather and stuff in Texas. And yeah, so Plano Skate Park is really nice it depends on which type of bowl you're looking for. But Plano is like, there's a lot of areas you can pump a bit. So it's like, I was not even trying that much and I was scared to try, because when you actually do try, you can go flying or, it's kind of crazy. Or I don't know if you know, but it was kind of crazy for me anyway. But yeah, so I was not even trying and I was gaining so much speed, which was really nice. That's why I like Plano. The bowl in Plano was really good for that. You can gain speed very fast in their bowl. And Louisville is a great place for practice, I think. Other than the fact that maybe, the bowl, it has a lot of space, which I do like. You can have, and sometimes you could see a lot of good skateboarders that just cover the whole thing and they just use it. I saw one time a person mess up and his skateboard, and him by the way, but he was like flying in the air and it was like he fell back down and hurt himself. But he was like 6 feet in the air above the bowl. So the bowl's already 6 feet and he's 6 feet above that. So he's basically 12 feet in the air if you count the bowl's level of ground, which was kind of crazy and how fast he did it. And then he fell backwards on his neck or something. He was fine though, he got up. But seriously, I do not want to be doing that and hurting myself. But I do want to get massive air without hurting. That's the goal. I didn't talk about Frisco Skate Park. There's also Farmer's Branch, but Farmer's Branch was pretty lame, to be honest. It was not well built. It was like somebody just drilled a bunch of things in there, and then it was like perfect to skate park, which is good for practicing. Like, I guess if you have nowhere else to go. But compared to Louisville, Plano, and Frisco, it was like nothing. So I just did not like Farmer's Branch. Uh, I Frisco's really built. It's just a bit far out for me, which was not that great. But every once in a while, it was cool to visit. And I think I really liked there was a group of dudes, or like older men, and they were cleaning up the skate park, and they were making, it was like, it just rained a bit, and it seemed like it was gonna rain again, but these skateboarders still wanted to skateboard a bit in the bowl, and they were just cleaning it up. So it was pretty nice of them to do that. And over there, I was skateboarding, and they're like, "Hey, we'll just skate in this part of the bowl, and you skate there." And it's like, good, like a bit more organized and safe feeling. Just saying, like, nobody's gonna jump into my area and like crash into me, which I'm trying to get a bit more like into the danger, but I'm still scared a bit. Like, not gonna lie. But with killer pads though, I do not feel scared, and I do have like a link that you could buy for killer pads. It does help me, and it's the same thing for you. So, or you guys, and let's see. Also, it will. Killer pads are the best armor. You have to get them. Falling down doesn't hurt that much in the bowl anymore, unless you fall on your hip, which you could get hip pads, but it's just the flexibility kind of annoys me, and the heat. You sweat too much with hip pads. But with this hand, I don't know if you can see, but it's like kind of dented. Yeah, dented, which it's done its purpose, and I really liked it. I've been fingerboarding a bit actually, and it's been fun, but I can't ollie, which is annoying. And it's probably because I'm using a tech deck with no grip, and I might look into it. And I kind of banged it around at the airport because I was just having nothing to do, so I was like just messing around. These days, yeah. So my past 30 days is wild because I was learning how to do basic things in the skate park. But the thing is with rollerblades, I'm trying to become more of a pro. I want to do those tricks. I want to be able to like go around, do anything. And I do look pretty decent, not gonna lie. But I'm always trying to achieve the better thing because I'm not really satisfied yet. And I don't think anybody will be ever satisfied with where they're at. But in rollerblading, I know that I got improvement to do. Like, I want to be able to stall in bowls, which is stalling in bowls and doing a fakie maybe, or do like a 180 stall slide grind and come back down. Like, that's the stuff I want to do a bit more. I'm learning how to drop in and come out. I've been getting good air on coming in and out with bowls. Just need a bit more practice, and I think by probably next year I should be pretty good. I do really like, bowls are my favorite part of the skate park. I do like walls, or like those little like bricks they have instead of just smooth concrete. I do, fakies are fun. They're fun. It's just the problem with me is I got to get over the fear of such big fakies on a vert ramp rather than like a vertical, rather than a like little small area. But yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty interesting how it's gonna turn out in the next couple months. That's why I like YouTube. I could see how much I progressed, and there's actually one of my oldest shorts. You can see, I think it was one of my first ones. I was stair bashing with my old Zetra blades, and I was stair bashing them, and those very stairs now I can actually just jump over them. And to be honest, jumping over them is a lot safer than stair bashing. Like, I can still stair bash, I do that all the time, but just jumping over them, it is a bit of an impact, and there's a form that you got to keep. But if you just keep that form and that impact, it's actually a lot safer, in my opinion. Well, if you're wearing armor, yeah, it's a lot easier too. I know. Well, if you mess up, it's not as safe, but if you succeed, it's a lot easier than just stair bashing. But stair bashing, you feel every single bump, da 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 da. But it depends how fast you're going. And yeah, thanks for watching. This is like an extremely long video. It's like 20 minutes, and it might be cut up. I don't know, but thanks for watching. That's just what I have to say with Texas skate parks. I didn't go to Garland yet. That's the next goal. That's like the bucket list, you know. I went to Frisco, Farmers Branch, Louisville. I go to Louisville the most, and it's my favorite. Plano. Plano, Frisco, Louisville, Farmers Branch, Irving. I went to like 5, and I need to go to. There needs to be a Carrollton skate park. Anyway, and I didn't go to Garland yet. That's supposedly the best one in Texas. There's one in Garland. It was like John Comer. I think that was the name of it. But that one is my favorite. That one supposedly has a little bit of a reputation because at a Carrier Skate Shop, they're recommending to me saying that is the skate park that you want to go to. So I didn't do that yet, but I probably will once I get back. In Korea, though, there is some in Seoul, Daegu, and other places. There probably will be in Busan, but I do want to visit those. I want to see what type of skate parks they have. There are some South Korean skaters I've seen on YouTube, and they're like really good, which is shocking. And I want to be that good too. And I'm practicing. Yeah. Right now, though, I'm gonna stick to in the countryside while I'm waiting to go to Korea. I'm gonna do these curb tricks and stuff like that. Jumps, practice my vertical jumping, and I guess like if you can see a mountain view, that's pretty nice. Anyway, thank you for watching, and see you next time. Please subscribe and like and comment because I do I do read the comments, and I'm trying to improve. You know, so any information and advice will be awesome. Thank you for watching. Bye.